During this time, Madame Morrel had told her son everything. The young man knew quite well that, after the succession of misfortunes which had befallen his father, great changes had taken place in the style of living and housekeeping, but he did not know that matters had reached such a point. He was thunderstruck. Then, rushing hastily out of the apartment, he ran upstairs, expecting to find his father in his study, but he rapped there in vain. While he was yet at the door of the study, he heard the bedroom door open, turned, and saw his father. Instead of going direct to his study, Monsieur Morrel had returned to his bedchamber, which he was only this moment quitting. Morrel uttered a cry of surprise at the sight of his son, of whose arrival he was ignorant. He remained motionless on the spot, pressing with his left hand something he had concealed under his coat. Maximilian sprang down the staircase and threw his arms around his father's neck, but suddenly he recoiled and placed his right hand on Morrel's breast. "Father," he exclaimed, turning pale as death, "what are you going to do with that brace of pistols under your coat?" "Oh, this is what I feared," said Morrel. "Father, father, in heaven's name," exclaimed the young man, "what are these weapons for?" "Maximilian," replied Morrel, looking fixedly at his son, "you are a man, and a man of honor. Come, and I will explain to you." And with a firm step Morrel went to his study, while Maximilian followed him, trembling as he went. Morrel opened the door and closed it behind his son. Then, crossing to the anteroom, went to his desk on which he had placed the pistols, and pointed with his finger to an open ledger. In this ledger was made out an exact balance sheet of his affairs. Morrel had to pay, within half an hour, 287,500 francs. All he possessed was 15,257 francs. Are we reading Alexandre Dumas or Edgar Allan Poe? Because we are in a pit, and this is a pendulum swinging back and forth. I got to admit, I thought we were pivoting toward more action-based ticking time clock situation, and no, the pendulum has swung back to Morrel and confirms his intent with them pistols there under his coat. Boy. But Maximilian's here, so maybe not all isn't lost. His son surprising him. Morrel looks shocked and surprised and maybe a little relieved, or is that me painting what I want onto this scene at seeing his son? Completely unexpecting to see him. And luckily, Maximilian, unlike his mother and sister, and no shade on them, is able to just outright say the very thing that needs to be said. As we remember from a passage or two ago, Madame Morrel and Julie stood silent when they were watching Morrel in his office, potentially writing out his will. They didn't want to utter the words that they feared most. But Maximilian just comes in here, is like, "Dad, what are you doing with them pistols? What's going through your mind right now?" So I'm taking it as a sign of hope that Morrel is saying stuff like the line, "You are a man and a man of honor, come and I'll explain to you." Like, I'm hoping that's a moment of Morrel recognizing the futility of what he has in mind. And saying that he places the pistols on the desk, I'm hoping also is kind of like he's not clinging to those weapons of self-destruction. He's kind of laying them out between him and his son as a gesture toward, "Help me. Here's the situation. This is the symbol of where my mind is at right now. I'm not going to cling to them." He's not grasping onto these weapons like it's his last deliverance, if I want to use that word, which I don't, but I did. So, okay. I'm nervous to guess where we're going tomorrow. There's still a lot left in this chapter. About another week. Maybe Dumas is just gonna let us go visit with Julie and her little adventure from here. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'm choosing hope. I'm choosing hope today. Let's just continue here tomorrow to see where Dumas takes this perilous chapter. So until then, you know where to find me. Okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.